face down on the roof inside the besieged American diplomatic compound, gunfire and flames crackling around them. The two young Libyan guards watched as several bearded men crept toward the ambassador's residence with semi-automatic weapons and grenades strapped to their chests. "We are finished," one of the guards says he remembers thinking. Both are veterans of the ragtag revolutionary forces that toppled Muammar Gaddafi. Over the last year, while assigned by their militia to help protect the U.S. mission in Benghazi, the pair had been drilled by American security personnel in using their weapons. "Thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased." Securing entrances, climbing walls and waging hand-to-hand combat. They were the quick reaction force for a compound that was also protected by about 5 armed Americans and 5 Libyan civilians hired through a British firm and equipped only with electric batons and handcuffs. But nothing, they say, had prepared them for this. They had practiced for an attack by 10 or 15 people. Now there were scores of professional-looking militants who moved methodically and used well-practiced hand signals. To make matters worse, on the night of September 11th, instead of 4 militiamen who were "thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased," supposed to be on guard, there were only 2 inside the compound. The militiamen say they initially fought back, but when one attacker lobbed a grenade into their bungalow near the compound's entrance, they fled to the roof without their radios and with only 1 magazine of ammunition between them. The American security officers were nowhere in sight. As the raid continued, eventually killing Ambassador J. Christopher Stevens and another American inside the facility, and 2 other Americans at a separate location hours later, the 2 Libyans say that they survived by "thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased." Lying on the roof silently for about an hour, too stunned, scared and overmatched to fight back. "We were not expecting such a massive attack," the guard says. "We were not ready for it." The 2 militiamen, who spoke to the Times in separate interviews in the last week in Benghazi and Tripoli, the capital, say they are telling their story publicly for the first time, in part because FBI investigators are raising questions about their role. One of the militiamen and a civilian guard say investigators asked them why the guards didn't fight "thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased." To the death, and were looking for signs that the attackers had collaborators within the militia. The militiamen flatly deny supporting the assailants but acknowledge that their large, government-allied force, known as the February 17th Martyrs Brigade, could include anti-American elements. American officials have declined, as a matter of protocol, to discuss security arrangements at the outpost in eastern Libya. But the attack, the worst to strike the U.S. diplomatic mission since 1998, grimly underscored the chaos in post-revolutionary Libya, where an array of heavily armed but unevenly trained militias is "thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased." Serving as a sort of substitute army and is responsible for virtually all security, including at diplomatic outposts. The February 17th Brigade is regarded as one of the more capable militias in eastern Libya. The assault also raised questions about why Stevens, the high-value target who was known to venture into the streets, would have spent the anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks at the Benghazi mission instead of the more fortified embassy in Tripoli. The guards bristled at accusations that they shrank from the fight and say they had repeatedly warned the American "thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased." Officials about flawed security arrangements. "They called me a liar. They said we didn't see you on the security cameras fighting," says the second militiaman, who was questioned by the FBI recently in Tripoli and who, like others interviewed for this story, asked not to be identified out of fear for his safety. "I told them that we fired our weapons in the beginning, but when we got to the roof, there were 100 enemies and 2 of us. We could do nothing." Under an agreement with U.S. officials, who "thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased." Describe the post in Benghazi as a special mission and not a consulate, as it's often been called, for February 17th fighters were supposed to be posted at the compound around the clock. They trained and worked closely with a rotating cast of American security personnel and slept in the sand-colored bungalow closest to the main entrance and the ambassador's residence. But Commander still hadn't replaced one of the 4 who left his post for personal reasons about a month before the attack. A second was patrolling outside the compound when the attackers arrived, and it's "thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased." Unclear whether he engaged in the battle. The militia members as well as two civilian guards employed by Blue Mountain, the British firm that in May was awarded the $783,000 State Department contract to help secure the compound, say in interviews that the facility was vulnerable. Consisting of 4 single-story bungalows arrayed around 2 large courtyards, the compound is surrounded by 9-foot-high walls topped with security wire. But the 3 metal entrance gates had no security wire. One long wall abuts an unoccupied lot that the guards often worried could be "thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased." A prime hiding spot. Another lies just off of a busy road, close to passing traffic.